What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik, the hardest working man in sports and gaming, and it's time that I've been going for a minute. I know, I'm going for a minute, but it's time to talk about NBA Live 20. Now, I put up the trailer for NBA 2K20. Of course, I'll be talking about that quite a bit moving forward, but it's time to talk about some NBA Live. NBA Live 20. There really hasn't been any official news, right? But I have learned on good authority and from a very reliable source who the NBA Live 20 cover athlete is. I already wrote about it on Forbes, so you may have already seen that article, but I want to discuss it a little bit here on camera on YouTube. First and foremost, that person who is to be the cover athlete for NBA Live 20 is Luka Doncic. So it's Dallas Mavericks star, reigning Rookie of the Year, and the most, I would say, influential international player to come along in a long time. He had a fantastic rookie season, averaged over 21 points a game, I think like 7 rebounds, something, just a really good season. And I think that this was a very good decision for Live. I think this was the right cover athlete decision, especially since, as I talked about before, they went after Zion Williamson. It didn't work out. Zion Williamson is clearly linked with 2K now because his jersey was shown in the trailer, which is going to mean that Live is not going to be able to use Zion at all in any sort of promotional thing. But what I think Live did do well with Doncic is Live kind of zoned in on the international Euro League demographic for sports gaming, for video game basketballs. 2K used to have a pretty solid hold on that group because they had the FIBA teams in there, the EuroLeague teams in the game. Well, that was removed like 2 years ago, and ever since then, that part of the fan base has been asking for that to come back. It hasn't. Now, it's not to say that Live is going to have EuroLeague, but by simply putting Doncic on the cover, you are appealing to that fan base. Also, it kind of aligns pretty well with their international street courts, the different courts you see in Brazil and France throughout the game, and I would fully expect for that to be expanded upon this year. Even if it's just from a cosmetic standpoint, I think they'll probably try to build on that. I just think it's a smart approach, right? So in North America, right, the 2K has a really strong grip on the virtual basketball market. They had a really strong grip on it, and Live has been trying to wrestle it away. I mean, we can talk about where they've gone wrong or where they fall short. I mean, that's a whole separate video or two on its own. But for whatever reason, it hasn't happened, right? So I don't think that it's a bad idea for them to start to focus outside of the United States first, and then maybe with some intentions on coming back in. And I think that it starts with branding and that sort of thing. Now, I think that the fact that they may have gone after Zion Williamson initially and didn't get him, I think that may have slowed everything down, which is maybe the reason. And now this part I'm guessing about. So I like to clearly let you know when I'm speculating, and clearly let you know when I'm speaking from a standpoint of, hey, a very reliable source told me this, or this is information I've gotten or received directly from the publisher or developer. This is purely me speculating. I'm thinking that when they went after Zion and it didn't work out, they were really indecisive and didn't know where they were going to turn for the cover star. And I don't know whether or not they had a ton of things to show yet in terms of new features. So I think that might partially explain the absence from EA Play, which is something that I know that kind of sent a mild little concern, a little wave of concern through the NBA Live community of those from those who don't already know, because there's some people that's deep in their community who probably have already been made privy to certain things about the game, so they know the game is in development. They know probably loosely when the game may be released if they don't know the exact date, but so they weren't perhaps they weren't panicked, but I do think that it is a legitimate cause of concern that we haven't seen anything from the game, especially if there's any type of way that we're talking about a September release or even an October release. I mean, if you look at it, this is the 4th of July, in case you can't hear the bombs bursting in the air through my window here. And there's been no trace, no peep. I mean, not even a trailer with an NBA Live 20 logo going across the screen, nothing. So I'm wondering, when is the release date for this game? But I do know that Luka Doncic is the guy that they've chosen for the cover athlete. As I said, I feel comfortable saying that definitively, coming from the source that I have. So that's the information. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I would love to hear in the comments what your thoughts are on it. And I know, trust me, I know that this doesn't have anything to do with the game itself. Trust me, I already know that. So I'm not trying to say, does this make you feel the game is going to be good? Even because I've heard a lot of people say that, oh, Luka Doncic's on the game, I know it's going to be good. It doesn't really mean anything. And it also doesn't mean it's going to be bad if you hate Luka Doncic. Neither of them have any real, bearing on the other. It may be that the game is going in a certain direction, so because it's going in a certain direction, that's why they chose Doncic. Maybe that's it. But Doncic don't work on the game. Okay, he's not in charge of art direction. He's not an animation guy, anything like that. So, like I said, in the comment section, let me know what you think about that cover athlete choice. Will it impact whether or not you pre-order it or not? Will it make you look at it a little bit closer if you had no intentions of doing it? Has it turned you off? Like I said, let me know in the comments. As usual, I appreciate you watching as always. God bless and peace.
Pocket, I'll be weak. I'm rather unique.